you ready for the ride.
You're in the danger zone.
Holy mackerel.
Holy mackerel. We are in the danger zone, and it's not a Friday night. Let me get that crap off of my screen. That's a Friday night. That's Friday night crap. We got no crap here today. No, we got gold nuggets is what we got, from one nugget to another, right? You see that segue? Just joking, guys. Appreciate you tuning in on a Sunday. Not my traditional time slot. It'll be worth it because we got a guy that I've been dying to have on for a while. But, you know, Friday nights are tough, and I get that. So, dude, proud to bring this guy out. Let him do the talking mostly today because we got roster cut downs. He is very plugged into, very savvy with. You know what? Without further ado, let me bring him out, see what he has to say. The one, the only, BuffaloJetFan.
What's up, man?
Dude, so glad to have you today. I know it's the weekend, man. I appreciate you making a little bit of time for us. We already have stuff happening this morning. We've had stuff happening yesterday. Let's start there, man. What do you think of the Naughty trade?
I can't believe that they got draft capital for this dude. Like, the whole league knows you're going to cut him. And he knows Kansas City. I can't believe they didn't just wait for him to go be cut. So it's, I mean, and it's pretty negligible draft capital because you have to figure the Chiefs are going to have like a significantly lower, you know, draft pick than the Jets at the back end of the draft there. But if someone's giving you, I don't know, man, like if someone comes up to you and hands you $1, you take it. Oh, it's only $1. Well, okay, now you have another $1, right? you take a free $1, free money. So why not? But I was surprised that they were able to trade for him. Did you see Jeremy Fowler tweeting out that the Jets might be able to trade quality depth offensive tackle Carter Warren?
Dude, that was like the agents or something in cahoots with Fowler. How do you tweet that, man? Like, you lost 10 points of credibility already with me, man.
Yeah, that was a copy and paste. Someone sent that to him for sure. Might have been Muji himself.
It might have, like, hey, we got these guys available. They're just like Naughty, probably. We might keep one out of the 3 turds, but I don't know, man. I'm over Max Mitchell. I'm over Carter Warren. I'm over Xavier Newman, but call me crazy. Like, if we need a guard, it's going to be Tippmann. Like,
right.
I don't know. If we need a tackle, will Max Mitchell be one of our best 5? I don't know how we'll approach that. We got Okora 4. We have some guys, but the ones we've had a while, I'm over. You said the Naughty thing, though, was cool because we got a little bit of, you know, a couple nickels or whatever. I like that, though, because it cancels out like half of what we gave for Phillips a little bit. It softens the blow. So, you know, you cancel out the pick swaps, and hey, you just gave a 6 to go from Naughty, who showed nothing, to Phillips, who still might be on the decline, but I think he's an upgrade.
Yeah, and it gives you, I'd say maybe at this point in his career, you could expect him to, even if he's a below average starting defensive tackle, I think you'll take that for the money and the draft capital they're giving. And I believe he has this year and next year on his contract. So you kind of solve that spot for 2 years. And now defensive tackle, which was a significant weakness of the team. Now you're looking at it and you're looking at next year. It's like, you might not even have to draft a defensive tackle because you have him. And then you have his backup as the one tech would be Briggs, who's young. And then Leonard Taylor, who by hell or high water better be on this damn roster, man. We can't be getting cute and bringing all these defensive tackles and cut Leonard Taylor. So, yeah, I like the work that they did. And it was cheap to improve. You know, I'm sure they'd like to get a better starting wide receiver, but that's going to cost you, you know, a day 2 pick. Whereas this, it was cheap. And like you said, now they basically get Briggs for free because he was the same thing. He was a 6th and 7th round pick swap, and you were going to cut Naughty anyway.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Some of the guys we've had in the pipeline on the D line, a little more promising than the ones on the O line. So it'll be interesting. Do they keep 10 linemen? You know, I do figure we're going to lean heavily on the roster discussion today. But chat, I see you guys already popping. If you have any odd questions, throw them in there. Jet related, of course. Buffalo, what do you like? Let's just bounce around, because you've done full 53 projections. We did one the other day. Like I think everybody's tired of that. I just want to ask you about like specific rooms, maybe,
Sure.
and you can do it either way. What you would do or what you think they will do. Just maybe preface it. What do you think of the safety room?
So I think that the only question at safety, in my opinion, and who knows, it's like the most, it's even more futile than mock drafts, right? Where it's because there's always a guy who like there's guys from other teams that are gonna be on the team, so that's why no one will perfectly get a 53-man roster ever. But I think it's just a matter of if they keep 4 or 5. Because if they keep 4, it's going to be Cisco, Tony Adams, Malachi Moore, Isaiah Oliver. I think those would be the 4. Now it's only a matter of has a guy like Dean Clark, who I call Shadow Realm Ashton Davis. Has he, improved enough on the coaching staff to carry a 5th safety? But if I had to guess, I would say they keep 4 because I'd really like to keep 6 corners. I'd like to keep Stiggers and JBC. So I would say those 4 with Cisco and Adams as your starters, and then Malachi Moore and Isaiah Oliver as your backups.
Dude, I love that you threw JBC in there because, like, I don't know about this year, but last year I think he showed out last year a little bit. This
Mhm.
year he's had some I mean, he had that fair catch interference that really stuck in my craw, I know, but he's more promising than some other guys and he's got some versatility. I do want Stiggers as well. But let me ask you, like, Monroe gone, Dean Clark gone for you?
I think so, and it's well, I think I will say that defensive back is probably this number one spot that I think a player that we cut could be rostered by another team. I think those like, all those corners that went out there impressed. Even Bump Cooper before he got hurt, great name too. But Monroe is a player who I thought looked pretty good last preseason as a UDFA as a safety. They move him to corner, and he played very well. But that he tweaked a hammy in that last game too, so that might be ironically a way the Jets could keep him if they IR him, but yeah, I don't see how Monroe fits. I don't see who you're taking off, and I don't think you're carrying a 11th defensive back.
I like that. I'm all for it, to be honest. And you're right, like that with the IR stuff, we have no idea, man. Is Lazard
Mhm.
going to go on IR? Is
Right.
it someone who got a scab on their wrist on Friday night going on IR? Maybe, because
Mhm.
those first 4 weeks, man, you might have someone go down, and it doesn't even have to be in the same room. But boom, your spot's back, and we're rolling, especially with as physical as those first few weeks are for the Jets. But Scott said that Lewis Sign got released today. Is that a guy you're familiar with? And what do you think of that?
Before the draft, yeah, but I was clearly wrong because he's about well, isn't no, didn't we almost sign him? Remember there a tweet that he was coming to the Jets and then it was
That
fake.
I believe so. Yeah, because that
Yeah.
name definitely is, and I'm sure the chat will help us with specifics. But I think you are right there. Did he go to Minnesota?
He went, yeah, and then he was in Minnesota. I think the Vikings drafted him, and then it was rumored that he was going to be signing with the Jets, and then he went to the Bills and was on their practice squad
Uh,
last year. And then I think he was in Philadelphia. I don't know where he just got waived from, but no, I mean, he was an athletic freak coming out, and I believe he was either a first or second round pick. But eventually, it's like how many the writing might be in the wall. He might just not be an NFL player, to be honest.
Let me before we hit other rooms, let me ask you, like, if you were GM, how would you approach it? Because like there's two schools of thought in my mind, and maybe I'm not seeing something, but like you save your practice squad guys to the last second, and then boom, like 1,000 guys are hitting the waiver wire. That's kind of key. You can slip some guys in there, and then there's a second school of thought where it's like if you drop them now, then nobody can claim them, but you too also have to wait as well, and it gives the other GMs longer to find them on the wire. If you had a guy that was like fringe and you wanted to PS, would you drop him last second or would you drop him early?
I think oftentimes, sometimes that's a GM and staff doing a favor to a player to kind of get him out there ahead of the fray. I don't know how much it matters because I imagine almost like draft boards. I'd imagine teams have boards of like bunch of names of guys who could be cut, and they're probably ready to pounce pretty quick. But I will say this from a roster construction standpoint, especially when you're a team that's not necessarily competing to win the Super Bowl this year, I would really lean towards trying to just keep your 53 best players rather than rounding out even numbers to rooms. So, like, for example, like a guy like Leonard Taylor. This team, to me, isn't like talented enough to be cutting a player like Leonard Taylor. So you keep 5 defensive tackles. Is that a little bit more? Sure. But do we have, like, are you going to keep, I don't know, like Jeremy Ruckert just to have that 4th tight end? Or are you going to keep one of these UDFA receivers who we all love, who will be, working next to you and me in like 2 years? That are we going to keep him over Leonard Taylor? So that's something I believe in. Really try and keep your best players. And I think that guys that jump out to me are like Leonard Taylor and Jarek Bernard, Converse, who could be, like, I think, primary backups at important positions, and who are under rookie contract control. So that's something that I hope that they do.
Same. And I teased that Murph and I sat down. I mean, we're not experts, but we kind of did it like I said earlier, like where if we were the GMs and bro, we had 2 tight ends and we had Beck. We had 2 tight ends and we had Beck, man, because like, why
That's me driving the team bus too, man. He's got a lot of jobs he's got to do on this team.
Hey, man, as much as we expect to pass, can you block? Sure, you're on, but Ruckert, I haven't seen the blocking, man. And you said the same with receiver. We joked the other day, like, we have 1 or 2 guys and then we have 6 wide receiver 6s. So like we're splitting hairs, man. Like, why are we trying to force keeping 5, 6, 7, of them when they're all, you could replace any one of them to fill out that room later on with another Jag.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get our hearts broken at wide receiver. And I'm a Brandon Smith truther, but I understand that he's 26 and he has no NFL stats. So I understand the absurdity of it, but we have to pick one guy every preseason. He's my guy. So people ask about Skinner. I'm like, I can't do 2. I can't delude myself into thinking that Brandon Smith and Quentin Skinner are going to be good. And I already picked Brandon Smith from last year, so I'm stuck with him until he gets cut. But I think, there's a world where they could, if Lazard goes on IR, I don't know, they could keep 5 receivers because they're going to run heavy personnel probably half the time. They're going to be an 11 personnel, I would wager, maybe like 50% of the time. So I don't know. And I think we do overrate the extent to which other teams covet our roster bubble players, because every fan base has a Quentin Skinner. Every fan base has a Donovan Edwards. And sometimes it's random guys we don't even think of, like Noddy or Carter Warren, apparently, or Codrington last year. So that darling wide receiver, I remember like Jason Brownlee's gone. We're never going to see him again. And when they got him back to the practice squad. So prepare to have your heart broken at wide receiver, because I don't think they're keeping 7. So one of those young guys we like is going to go between Pritchett, Smith, and Skinner. I don't see a world in which they could keep all 3.
Skinner, I'll see you later, brother. I need it. I need a coworker, so
Yeah. Although, but I would say smart money would probably be on Skinner, though, if we're being honest, just because he's a normal age UDFA. Like Brandon Smith popping at 26 seems less likely. But I don't know, man. The last 2 preseasons, like Brandon Smith, everything they throw to him, he just catches it. So yeah, at what point do you just give him a chance?
Yeah. And Tyler Johnson, you spoke of the no stats thing. I mean, how many stats does Tyler? And everyone has him on the roster, which he's kind of my guy this year, and I do like him. But I think Brandon Smith's popped more than him. So who knows? But leaning on the offense now, you mentioned a fan favorite with the number 40. How you like that alliteration there? Donovan Edwards, is he on your 53 or Darren Muji's, however you want to look at it?
No, and that's just because that's something against him. That he is the one player where I think he is I would say maybe, well, not even at corner, because I think we keep all our corners. I think Donovan Edwards is gonna be ready to learn Cleveland Brown or Kansas City Chief pretty soon. I think he could be good enough to be another team's running back 3 or 4. But the reality is the Jets have 3 capable running backs in Hall, Allen, and Isaiah Davis. And dude, Nwangu is an elite special teamer. He is a legitimately elite kick returner. He's got, I think, 4 kick return touchdowns in like not that many attempts. And his career average is really good. And he makes plays on the coverage unit. You know, he was and in Seattle last year, he punched out the ball on the other team's kickoff and spotted the Jets a field goal. Then he brought one back to the crib. He gave you 10 points. And Nwangu gave you 10 points and you couldn't win a game. So I don't see another player that's on between players like 50 to 55 who's capable of giving you 10 points in a game. And Nwangu can. And he's kind of an NPC at running back. You know, he probably won't touch the ball if Hall, Allen, or Davis are, are healthy. But let's be honest, Diamond Edwards, I don't know if he's that amazing. Like, he had that one really long run that got called back by a penalty, but then Nwangu went out there the next week and Nwangu had like 5.5 yards of carry and Edwards did nothing. So to me, to have an elite special teamer is more valuable than to get marginally better at running back 4. Sorry. I know he's a popular one. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm cool with that, man. Nwangu, however you say it, man, he has popped pretty consistently. And Edwards, he's got his fans, but then like some people say, oh, he only had one good year in college, really. And it's like, looking back at it, it's like you can probably get, maybe not every single week, pick up a Edwards, but you can find them. So like, if we trade Brees or if Braylon gets nicked up, God forbid, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We need this O-line to create the holes more than we need a stud running back. And I use that term loosely.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he'll stick on somewhere as a reserve running back. I just, I think it's more of a pro in Nwangu. Like, I think he is a really valuable special teamer.
Good point, because I think he's done enough to earn his job. I'm with you, man. Ruckert, for you?
So this is one where me and I think what I would do and what I think they will do is different. I think he'll make the team just because he's gotten a good amount of reps out there when Fields is out there. Like, he's out there part of the first team offense. And I think that Beck is going to do a lot of things in terms of when they want a fullback, when they want an H-back, the quote unquote sniffer. Frankie from Flatbush told me I learned about that role from him. And he's going to play special teams. But in terms of just you're strictly a Y tight end who we think we can get some blocking out of, Ruckert's the only guy on the roster. So to me, either Rucker makes the team or he's cut and they bring in another player like that on cutdown day. And that is a spot. Like, Rucker does that role at tight end, Max Mitchell at backup left tackle, like Tyler Barron at your 4th or 5th edge. Those are spots where I think players will be cut that you could get an upgrade there. So I think Ruckert will make it. I just don't, like, to me, someone tell me like what does he do at a plus level? And I know like it's a new coaching staff, so we'll see. But it's just even in preseason, man, like it's like his controller gets unplugged where he just glitches on and like misses on blocks. In training camp, you kept hearing about him dropping passes. So it's a tough sell that he should still be on the team, but I think he will be. And I guess we'll just have to give them the benefit of the doubt and see how he looks in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it both ways. He hasn't popped. He hasn't really earned the job, but at the same time, like, we have a rookie that we're leaning on quite a bit. So that one doesn't kill me as much as some others. If you had to, how many draft picks do you think get cut? Because we were sitting down and, like I said, we did this exercise. I actually cut Malagoa and Barron, and I'm wondering if that was stupid or if you can even see that.
I think Malagoa will be on the team because I think they're going to keep at least 4 linebackers, and I think Jamin Davis is that 3rd linebacker, that sub package linebacker. And I think they keep Malagoa because there's just not that many other good linebackers that we have, and also they're 5th round picks. Like, it is pretty. I know people say, "Oh, it's like a 5th round pick." Like, no, it's pretty rare to cut a 5th round pick before you break for the regular season. So I would say probably one of those guys makes the team. Now, let's be honest. If it's just straight up on their own merits, like these guys were UDFAs, they had no draft status to save them, like, and we're just making a team based on who we think has done the best. Neither one of them will probably be on the 53 if we're being honest. But I think that they drafted Kiko Malagoa knowing that Quincy Williams was on last year of his deal. So I think they're going to give him a chance to develop. And Tyler Barron, I know it's not much they paid, but they traded up in the 5th round to get him. So if they cut him, it would be surprising. But if I'm being honest, man, like I think McGregor, like he's been, I don't even know one play he made in the in the preseason. But I think definitely I would be very surprised if they cut both of them, just because it's very being a draft pick really protects you. But I don't know, man. At edge, like McGregor and Watts are probably both ahead of Clemens, if we're being honest.
Yep. Barron looks the part, but you're right. Like I haven't seen a single splash out of him. He looks like your prototypical defensive end, but yeah, that's not enough. It's new regime, fresh start, best 53. We assume. Um, Judging in that same vein, what have you actually done versus like promise? I got to ask you about Corley.
Right. Yeah, and this is just like outside looking in. Like we're not at practice every day, so we're judging it by like tweets and some preseason games. So I don't know. Maybe Tyler Barron is a monster in practices that are close to the media. So who knows? But Corley, I mean, I think Corley has been. It's the fact that they didn't even try to sell him to potentially get a trade pick. Like I think they're just completely. He's done. I don't know, man. Like I think there's a world in which he might never catch an NFL pass in the regular season. Like I don't know, like because this wide receiver room, he's like wide receiver 10. He's behind like Boogs Remington or whatever, who goes out there and the like some like made up Madden generated names you see out there. You're like, who's this guy? Michael Fletcher? Like, who are these guys? He's behind all those guys in the wide receiver room. So it's been a really big bummer. But dude, I think he's definitely gone. I mean, if you could trade Noddy for a pick swap, maybe there's a team that had him highly rated, and just says that, you know what, you're the Jets, you didn't know how to use him, and maybe gives us a 6th, 7th round pick swap. But I would be shocked, if he's on the Jets.
Joe Douglas, come calling, baby, no matter what.
Yeah, maybe we could trade him to Philly.
yeah, dude. And you know what? With their offense, he'd probably catch a few passes, but getting something out of Roseman when he knows the writing's on the wall, I'm not counting on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the theory that he's this secret X factor that we've just been hiding because he's going to be such a focal point of our offense this year, that's not coming to fruition.
I think you're going to be on the IR to start the year with that reach there, man. No, I wish, man. And to be fair, I was encouraged by the draft pick, even though people were like, you can't run routes, you can't rely on Yak. But I'm like, yeah, but come on, look at this highlight. And obviously they ended up being correct. But I was hoping on like new staff, like maybe it was just Nate Hackett was an idiot, and at least maybe we can get a wide receiver 3/4 out of him. But now, no, man, I think he's I don't know, he might be like headed for the CFL, honestly. Like it might be at that level.
Wild, man, because he was primed to seize a role and just nothing ever. See, what bothered me is they would throw him out there and they'd give him some reps, but like mainly his touches were on specials. And I get it if you want that out of him, but I wanted to see some create, like throw him a jet screen, throw him some drag routes, throw him anything, man. I feel like I didn't even get to see him a single touch on offense all preseason.
No, it didn't. That's what I'm saying. It seemed like by the time they even started preseason, they hadn't really had him factored in.
Nope. Crazy. So I guess we'll see. The chat's pretty much on board with cutting him. I think they have been for a long time now. Another polarizing guy that many are calling for his head. Alan Lazard. What are your thoughts there?
So I get it. He's experienced. You know, he's had 700-yard seasons and caught touchdowns in the playoffs. And a guy like Brandon Smith has no NFL catches. But Alan Lazard has had the highest drop rate in the NFL 3 out of the last 5 years. And when he's not doing that, he loves himself a nice, timely false start. So those net negatives are too big for me. The fact that he's a good blocker isn't enough. I would be more than comfortable with throwing Skinner or Brandon Smith out there and seeing what they have than watching Lazard. Because we've done how many years in a row? Because last year I was like, oh, well, now it's not Zach Wilson, and now he'll be more comfortable. And he did put up some numbers, but dude, he dropped 4 passes in London. He dropped 4 passes in one game, including a touchdown that we lost by 1 possession. Like, you lost us a whole game. And he quasi quit on the team the year before. And he had to be like, remember that? He was kind of in the doghouse. He was like healthy scratched, and he's with the soccer ball. So I'm just set with Lazard. I'm all good with him. He can go. You can't cut him now because then he's going to go be an informant to Pittsburgh. So you got to put him on the 4-week IR. Put him on the 4-week IR, and then after that, you know, if those other guys have gotten some chances and they've done well, then you can cut him. But I'm good with Lazard. I've seen enough.
He's over it, folks. And as we all are, like he even said in an interview, because he sparked early last year, he sparked, and they asked him in a post game one time, they said, so what's the main difference last year to now? And his answer was the quarterback. And I forget who it was, if it was Caroline or whatever. She's like, oh, so that's all it took? And he was like, yep. Very short answers. But I was just thinking, like, this isn't going to age well, because the next time you're not with Aaron Rodgers, who can trust you?
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers isn't our quarterback anymore. I don't know if he knows that.
Yep. So like he had a perfect opportunity to say, oh, well, you know, I had a chance to set my mind right, blah, blah, blah. No, he just gave the credit to Aaron, and now we are. He's penciled in for God knows how many snaps, man. God knows. Like you said, hopefully a lot of 12 person or 11, 12, hell, 22, get him off the field.
Yeah. And I think like with Reynolds, like you already kind of have that. Like, do you need him and Reynolds? Do you need two like 30-year-old like receivers who get kind of banged up and are a little bit slower? I don't know. Probably not.
I am with you. DKB in the house. Appreciate you, brother. He wants to know if you're kind of watching anyone, just, you know, fringe guys we might be able to snag.
From other teams? Or like fringe guys who might make the Jets who are already here?
Waiver wire. So I would say other teams.
So to be honest, there's not a lot of names that I know, but there's definitely positions that I'm looking at. I think that if they do keep 5 edge players, that 5th edge spot, I'm pretty sure there's going to be players available who are better than whoever the 5th edge will be on the Jets. They seem to like Max Mitchell, and I get it. Like, quality left tackles are hard to come by, but the bar for improvement there with Max Mitchell, unless he's made some tremendous amount of growth, I think is pretty low. And tight end. So I think those are the spots: tight end, left tackle, edge would be the spots for me, because wide receiver, like the Jets' problem is they don't have a good wide receiver 2 or a good wide receiver 3, but you're not getting one of those. The Jets have 5 like wide receiver 6s that we all like. So, you know what I mean? Like, why would we cut Brandon Smith or Skinner to take some other team's wide receiver 7? So yeah, tight end, edge, and what I said one more, but I already forgot. Left tackle.
Left tackle, yeah. Max Mitchell, how do you feel about him being LT2?
It's definitely concerning, because I've seen him come into games and like single-handedly ruin the offense many times. Now, I know he had the blood clots or whatever, and I know his rookie year he showed some potential, and he had Keith Carter, so we're really just banking on the coaching there, but I genuinely wonder if Max Mitchell has the physical tools to be an NFL player, to be honest. So I think the offensive line starting unit is really going to be good and really encouraging. I think a core 4 as your backup right tackle and Myers as a backup center I think you'd see those level of uninspiring backups on even good teams. You know, it's not like you can't have 9 good offensive linemen. No team does. But just that, because I don't think a core 4 would play left. He's only played right, except for that brief stint with the Patriots. He was really bad at left. So I don't know. It might be, I think the likelihood that you would see AVT at tackle increases with Max Mitchell being your primary left tackle, is the way I would put it. And I know that we don't like that. But
we don't, but like
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. He would be the best 5 should that happen. Yeah. Now, would you throw him on the left, or would you ask Membu to take the left?
Oh, see, that's tough.
We're down a rabbit hole, man.
I know. You don't want to. Hopefully, it doesn't happen, right? And I will say this: I think Myers coming in at center and then moving Tippmann over, I think that's a fine plan. Like, Myers stepping in he is an adequate backup interior offensive lineman. But yeah, man, it's like, okay, having Max Mitchell play left tackle, it really could cost you a game. So I think in that case, it's probably AVT. You probably move the veteran who's at least started a game before I left tackle. And maybe they wouldn't. I think honestly, I think they would give Mitchell a chance, but it might be a one half leash until AVT is over there. And by the way, the roster is constructed, but I would really prefer not to move Membu, because Membu is, look, I love Membu, but Membu is developmental as it is. He was 20 on draft night. This is not Joe Alt. This is not a plug. Like, he's going to have some bumps as a rookie. There's going to be people calling him a bust when TJ Watt takes his lunch money on a couple reps in a couple weeks. So I would not want to move Membu.
No, yeah, and I'm with you. At least AVT has had to go through that. Maybe not directly, but he knows what it's all about and how to prepare. And that's the thing. Like, most of his injuries were kind of fluky. Big year for him. Big year for him. I screamed. I wanted to go to the table with him as like good faith and maybe get a little, like 80 cents on the dollar, extend him early. They didn't. They also didn't take all of Rogers' dead money at once. So we still have money, but like, do you think we go to the table with him or JJ even anytime between now and February?
Well, JJ's interesting because, I think you'd have to just see how his health is off the Achilles. But if he looks like he's fully recovered, then sure, why not? AVT and Simpson, I know this is unpopular. If they both play as well as they did last year, and they're both durable, like they play at least 15 games, I would pay them both and have an expensive ass offensive line and not have to draft an offensive lineman in the first, four rounds for the next 3 years. And I would just be like, all right, what else needs work? Because offensive line is good. Now, realistically, are they going to pay a guard tandem close to $40 million a year? Maybe they pay AVT to let Simpson go. They move Tippmann to guard. They re-sign Myers and draft a mid-round center. There's a pragmatic way to go about it. But to me, it's like, if you put together from left to right a season of quality offensive line play, and they're all like age 21 to 27, 28, I would just run that back for the next 3 years. Personally, and you pay what it costs. That's what I would do.
I love that. I love that a lot. And I'm cool if you're going to splurge, man. That's the best place to splurge. And like, you got to figure it like, yeah, if you count Rogers' money and Fields' money and all the money we have on the QB room this year and next, it's almost a Dak Prescott, like, especially next year. But after that, man, it goes all the way down to like nothing. So can we do that with Simpson and AVT for 2026 and just tighten our belts? And then in 2027, we have loads of cash.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the idea. I think, and it just sucks that the Jets went all in and they didn't get anything to show for it. So now people are like, well, what do you mean we're going to not be good for like a year or two? But it's like, if they actually went all in and they made a playoff run, then we'd be like, oh, okay, well, this is the consequences of it. Now we're reloading. But because you got nothing out of it, sucks. But that still has no impact on Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Woody Johnson and Rex Hogan and company, like, just took a dump all over the floor, and Glenn shows up with a mop, and you're like, hey, stop doing that. And it's like, dude, like, there's crap on the floor. Like, I gotta clean it up. Like, it is what it is. I wish there wasn't crap on the floor. I wish there was flowers, but it's not. It's crap. So it's got to be cleaned up. And by crap, I don't mean the players, by the way. I just mean the books, like financially. There's some stuff to deal with. They got the second most amount of dead money in the league. They are a little bit lighter on some draft capital because of Devontae Adams, Hassan Reddick trade and the Rodgers trade. Like, if you think about it, those are 4 day 3 picks. And people are like, where's our receiver? Where's our edge? Where's our tight? 1, 2, 3. There's all those holes right there. So, we were all here cheering it on. At least I was, that they were going for it, but unfortunately it didn't work. And now it's going to be it's not going to be fixed in one off season,
I do. Question from the chat here from our buddy Jake. Do you smell the 17-0 season, Buffalo?
I think I would be thrilled with 8 and 9. I truly would, because that would be more than Salah's teams ever won, or Gase's teams. So that'd be the most we've won since bowls, right? So if you could get better, going from 5 wins to 8 wins is significantly better. And if you could do that while getting younger and cheaper, I think it would be a very encouraging first step.
I'm with you. Actually, I'm already thinking of the ways I can spin it later because like I see us falling behind early and then catching fire mid-season, and I'm going to be like, yeah, look at that. After Halloween, we were 6-4. Promise. Like,
Yeah.
it might shake out that way. It just depends. I mean, I guess we could start fire early, but I think it's going to take them time. Like you said, Membu's going to need some time. Uh, let's give the opposing defenses time to wear down so that Braylon's even better. Let's give it time for, I mean, hell, last year it took Brees like 15 games to get good. So let's give that time again. Sorry, I had to get a punch in there. Brees, let's go there. Talk to me about Brees because I am like way far on the right, left, however you want to describe it in the Brees Hall debate, mainly because
You
I'm
hate him.
disappointed.
You personally hate him. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, I'm glad you said that because I actually don't.
course not.
It's like I'm like a father and I'm disappointed kind of like that vibe, like last year. Early on, he could have carried us through some bumps and bruises, and he was just putrid. And then eventually he got better, and I feel like a lot of people forget how he was early on. And I'm just scared that'll happen again. I'm scared that we're still going to give him 209 snaps or 209 carries if he's not earning them like he wasn't early on last year. Like, just use him right. Use him right and let him earn his touches. I'm happy. I'm scarred, and I don't think we'll let him do that.
Yeah, so I guess with Brees, I have no idea what to expect for this year. I know that in 2023 he was like a top 10 running back, but last year he was individually bad. And I know that we always do I call them the context bros, because you ever see the meme that has like on one end it's like a really low IQ number and it says like just a very simple statement, and then in the middle it's like 90 IQ and it's like this whole paragraph of context, and at the end it's like 130 IQ and it's like the same like just simple statement. That's Brees Hall. That's sometimes what it is. Like, well, Brees Hall, but Keith Carter in the offense. Like, dude, last year Brees Hall led all running backs in drops and fumbles. That's not on Keith Carter. Keith Carter still sucks. Brees Hall was individually bad. He left a lot of yards on the field last year, but he was awesome in 2023. He was like the best running back I've ever seen in the first 7 games when he was a rookie before he tore his ACL. He was like Jim Brown. So what version of Brees are you getting? Because, dude, if you're getting 2023 as opposed to 2022, like that could be a 2-win difference. Like that could be a guy you lean on in a run heavy offense to win you 2 games, or it could be a mid replacement level back. So I have no idea what version of Hall we're getting. And that's one of the biggest wild cards on this team.
Agreed, man. A lot of people say the vision is the worst part. I think the explosive play, like however you get there, whatever, it was so poor last year. 1 carry over 30 yards. Even that 1 carry against the Bills went for 42. It should have went to the house, man. He got ridden out by 1 safety, and there was like 20 yards between them, and he just rode out of it. Yeah, just frustrating. And we'll see. I have a feeling that, I mean, Glenn, Angstrand, the whole new regime do seem like the type of guys that if you're struggling, I think your leash gets shorter. I hope.
Well, that's the beautiful thing
see.
about running back is it's not like quarterback or left tackle where you have to like make a big scene of like benching a guy. Like Braylon Allen and Brees Hall are both going to touch the ball plenty week 1. Whoever does better just gets the ball more. Like who cares who's running back 1? You know what I mean? You just whoever earns it. Because I'm bullish on a Brees bounce back, but if week 1 he still doesn't have the juice in his legs, I'll be like, okay, all right, Braylon. Like, it can't be like I think like you said, you got to earn your touches. So we'll see with Brees. But you're right, he didn't have that. He didn't have the juice last year. He didn't have that explosiveness in his legs. I know he was banged up a bit, and then to me, I think he looks about 15 pounds lighter this year.
He does.
So I think
you're right.
That's a big deal.
And hey, we all envision Corley to be like that gadget, but like if we're cutting his ass, that kind of that puts Brees in that perfect spot to still be valuable if he can't still carry it, down the pipe. As A and B gaps are not his strong suit. He can still be on the field. He can still be in the backfield with Braylon. And you can still use both of them and keep the defense guessing. So it's going to be interesting. Creativity is a must. But you know, hopefully it's not. Hopefully we just run it down throats.
Yeah. I think you could do both, and then I gotta get out of here, unfortunately, after this. But I appreciate you having me on, man. But yeah, I do think like in the preseason, I honestly liked that the Jets weren't trying to pretend to be anything they're not. They're like, here it comes, Braylon, Brees, Fields run. You know, we're gonna get to 3rd and 2, and then we're gonna give it to Braylon. And if he's a half yard short, they're gonna line up and do the tush push, and then right back from the top. These games are going to be over in like 2 hours and 10 minutes, man. It's going to be a run heavy offense. But even the jet sweep they gave to Arian Smith on 1st down, like that's a great way to horizontally stress the defense. Because if you got to worry about him getting a jet sweep left, is Brees Hall going to get the run right on this RPO, or is Fields going to take it and go this way? You're creating a lot of stress on the defense. Then you have to take deep shots too. So if you could take enough deep shots and you can use enough like play action and horizontal action, then you're really stressing the defense both ways. Because last year the Jets offense, they just played in a box because they didn't do play action, they didn't do pre-snap motion, they didn't throw the ball down the field a ton, which is kind of crazy given like the quarterback and receivers they had. So everything was just like hot route, 8-yard hot route offense, which is tough to live with. So I'm hoping that the coaching staff this year can dial up some stuff that stresses defense a little more.
Dude, the best part of that Arian Smith play was the fact that he actually rounded the corner, got to the outside. Like I can't remember the last time I've seen that happen. Love it. Also loved your appearance today, man. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll get you on maybe next off season again. See how that goes. But dude, let's get to at least 500. He's BuffaloJetFan. Subscribe to him down below. YouTube, Twitter, BuffaloJetFan. Have a good night, man.
Thanks, man. Take care, guys.
Later. Well, there you have it, folks. BuffaloJetFan in the danger zone. We had Jake Asman joining us. We had DKB NY Jets joining us. Dude, nice little time slot. You guys can have it back after today, though, whoever wants it. 40 watching on YouTube. That's probably a record. Appreciate you guys. Hey, still here. If you have questions, I'm going to go through the chat just to catch up, see what I might have missed. But again, down below in the description, follow him. And I'm not going to lie, man, go create a Twitter account just to follow him, because some of his tweets are just gold. A lot better than some of our beat. Just very thorough, knowledgeable guy, and he puts his head into things. So appreciate him joining us. Murph couldn't make it. Murph was dying to make this episode, but if it's not a Friday night, it's difficult for him. But dude, we also made a trade today. We cut 6 or 7 guys, yesterday. Is there anyone that you're bummed about us cutting? I know we lost. I know Samuel Jackson got the shaft. Badoom chick. Harlan, you're the man. Subscribe to both. Clancy, that's a good one. What else are you going to do in Buffalo? Yeah. Fight people 24/7. That's what I would do. Probably have a rearranged face, but that's what I'd try to do. Missing the Little League World Series to talk the boring Jets. Modine comes in with a piping hot question. He says, who stinks more than the Jets? Well, from the sounds coming from the next room here, I'm willing to lay claim to it being the New York Mets. I can't confirm that, but the last couple of weeks might suggest it, Modine. So, yeah, I got hit from both angles. Hey, call-in lines there if you want to sound off on anything leading up to final roster cutdowns. Got a little time. Hang out since y'all are still here. Spike that like button. Appreciate that. and subscribe. We are on our way to 500 subscribers. Might get there. Might be week 3, but that's fine. 500. Got to be the first 500, and then I'm sealing the doors. Yeah. Not turning on the car, but I'm sealing the door. Anyways, like I said, gonna circle back, see what the chat had to say. I saw Darnell Washington suggested tight end out of Pittsburgh. I think that was Crispy that mentioned that. Hey, he would be an upgrade on what we currently have. The only question is how many tight ends are we keeping? The Braves beat the Mets. Yeah, all right. The sounds were accurate. Our hearing. But yeah, Darnell Washington, Daryl Washington, wherever his first name is. I've seen him play. He is a big dude, and I like to look at maybe some of his blocking. Maybe if he becomes available, we'll have something from X Factor there. And I don't know the bar to clear. Our tight end 3, tight end 4, however many we keep, the bar they need to hit to block well enough to make this team is not high. It's not. We have some guys who aren't doing it, so we should be in on that market. We should. Assuming that we don't just go skinny there so we can go fat somewhere else, which is what Daniel and I did. We went skinny there. We went skinny at quarterback. We went a little heavier, I think, on the D-line, which probably suits us. Just got to keep guys upright. That's the problem. Practice squad, you can put a QB3 on. Practice squad, you can put a tight end on. But if you have Beck playing H-back, Beck playing fullback, Beck playing tight end 3, I mean, some people say 2, but 3, I don't think that's too much for him to handle because it'll still probably only be 25, 30 snaps a game. But it helps negate that. You don't have Mason Taylor playing 70 snaps a game or 60. You don't have what's his face doing 100% either. You got to kind of spell them a little bit. And we're going to be in some big formations, so it's more crucial for that guy to be a good blocker. We'll see how that goes, though. Literally, next 2 days away. In 2 days, we'll be at 53, maybe less, and scouring the waiver wire. The other cool thing I like is the fact that we made 3 trades this week. 3 different GMs now talked to Muji, made a deal with Muji, and we don't feel like we got over the barrel in any of the 3. So that was one of my that was one of the things that gave me the most anxiety is this guy going to be able to work the phones and come out ahead or even? I think this week he has. I mean, I still got to see him maybe trade a 3 or a 2 for a good guy and see what the value is there. But like his day 3 picks being traded have been pretty promising. DKB. Tight end is such a hard position to jump into. We may keep more tight ends than expected. Yeah, you know what? The devil you know versus the devil you don't. It's certainly a viable strategy. If we keep 4, though, I just wonder how it affects the rest of the roster, because you got Wang Wu, you got Beck, and that's all kind of in that same area, not identical, but similar area. Let's see. One last chance, guys. I am going to throw the link down. You guys got like 3 minutes if you want to call in. Otherwise, we'll just go out on a high note. Like I said, if you're joining us late, we had BuffaloJetFan on. Talk ball for like 40 minutes straight. Well worth a rewatch. Check that out. And then right as the episode finishes, jump down to the description, click his name, subscribe to him. like every video he's ever posted, and then it'll be Friday night, and you'll be able to come back here and see Dom C in the Danger Zone with Murph. I'll be timing you, by the way. I'll be on vacation next weekend, so come out and support Murph in his first ever hosting appearance. Give him some shit. Make sure you chat a bunch so he's just buried and has a newfound respect for host duties. Just kidding. Johnny Boy Beck as a tight end. Well, it depends what you're asking of him. I think he can be a blocker on the edge. I think he can be like an H-back, man. An H-back, kind of like that hybrid. Sometimes he'll be lined up in the backfield. Then it'll be motioned out. Sometimes he'll just start next to Membu or Fashano and just form that jumbo package. Sometimes he'll be running routes. Sometimes he'll get a baby handoff. How about a fullback dive? That's not Nick Bodden. I'm down. I do have a caller. He is extending this stream just a bit. So if you're enjoying the live chat, you better thank this guy for adding a few minutes on the back end of it. Y'all know him. Y'all love him. Danger Zone caller of the month, Charles Gorman. What's up, brother?
Hey, DayngerZone, how are you, buddy? Sorry I couldn't watch the game with you guys on Friday. I was exhausted. I know the Jets lost 19-17. I know it was a 2-point game. But, hey, it was good seeing Donovan Edwards score a touchdown. I unfortunately didn't make the 2-point conversion. Hopefully we trade for a wide receiver. No, we traded Noddy back to the Chiefs, which I knew was going to happen. Part of me just had a feeling it was going to happen.
Naughty, I love it. I love that it happened. I'm not gonna lie, because Murph and I actually cut him pretty early last Friday. Same goes with Cowart, man. Like, y'all have come in and shown us nothing. So shit or get off the pot.
Exactly, man. That's what I felt. Hopefully we trade for a wide receiver. That's what I would like. Hopefully it's either one of the Colts receivers or, I don't know, maybe Terry McLaurin. But the chances of that are not very high, but we'll see. Because we need some wide receiver depth and more talent. Because the wide receivers we have are not very impressive.
The idea that Alec Pierce could be on the move really intrigues me.
He's pretty good. I like him. I like him. He's good. He's good. I like him.
He's a lot like what we want Arian Smith to be, and it might be too soon to ask Arian Smith to do. Arian Smith might pop the set. Hell, it took him 3 good preseason games to start clicking a little better. He even said it in the post game interview on Friday night. He's like, it took a minute, but we're here now. So ensure that. Give me Alec Pierce.
Romeo Dobbs too. Chris B mentioned that in the chat. He wouldn't mind Romeo Dobbs. I like Romeo Dobbs. He's a talented receiver. I like Romeo Dobbs. He's good. But the thing is, how much will that? Obviously we're not Packer fans, but how much would that hurt the Packers? You know what I'm saying? Like, because they have Christian Watson. They got the guy from Minnesota, right? Not the Minnesota Vikings, but from the University of Minnesota. What the hell is his name? They drafted him in the first round. He became the first wide receiver the Packers drafted in the first round. This is Javon Walker back in 2002.
Matthew Golden,
yeah, they got him. They also have a bunch of, they got Josh Reed and all of them. So we'll see what the hell happens. Hopefully they do something before the regular season actually commences, That would really be wonderful. But we'll see what the hell happens.
I like it, man. Are you starting to get pumped for this Steeler game?
I am. I do. I hopefully gotta take care of some things, but obviously that's 3 days before my birthday. But hopefully, I would like to go to it, but it all depends on my expenses. You know what I'm saying? Because these money doesn't necessarily grow on trees, even though paper does.
I like that one. Yeah. Even if you don't go, man, you could still just get some Doritos and some dip and some
Oh
pizza.
yeah, obviously just go to or just watch the game on television. Obviously, that would be tremendous too. Right now, I just got to get my cable fixed. I don't know what the hell's going on with my cable. I paid all my bills and shit. It's just that I'm losing. I don't have any signal, so I don't know. It's coming on Tuesday around 7:30 a.m. to 9 o'clock in the morning, so that'll be fine. Um, um, but yeah, I know I say a lot when I talk. Laugh out loud. But I'm glad things are going well with you and Daniel. How's Daniel Murphy, by the way? How's his son doing?
He's good. I think he had a 12-hour session today at the gym that he couldn't skip, so he
A
wasn't able to
12-hour
make.
session have to do with Daniel Murphy. Holy crap, he must be really hitting that gym hard.
Yeah, he is, man. I think he borderline lives there. He owes them rent, like he does his own landlord. Uh, yeah, he's doing good.
I appreciate he gets in shape. He gets in shape, which is fantastic. Daniel Murphy's a good guy. You got a good friend there, Danger Zone.
Agreed.
But yeah, man, I just can't wait for the season opener. I can't. The Yankees and have been disappointing me lately. They're pretenders instead of contenders. I don't know what the Mets have done lately. Hopefully, they're doing a bit better. But it is what it is, man. I like what we got from Aaron Glenn as a coach. He looks like a real deal. I don't know what else to tell you, man. But
How about a question or two?
go ahead, ask me a question.
All right, Clancy. He says, "We throwing a big birthday jam at the new crib, Chuck?"
I don't know about that. We'll see. I
And
may be
then,
spending it with my family.
okay,
My birthday's
fair.
September 10th, so I'll be
September
31
10th,
that
31.
September 31. Yes. Thank you, Crispy. I appreciate that. Hopefully we do get a W. We'll see what the hell happens. I know the Giants are undefeated this preseason. They destroyed them. I mean, they dismantled the Patriots. But then again, it is preseason. Wins and losses don't really matter unless for the players. I do like what I saw from Jackson Dart, though. He's got the right coach to develop him. I've always been a big fan of Brian Dable. I know the last 2 years haven't been too kind for him. That's because I think a lot of it has to do with the organization, not necessarily him. But we'll see what the hell happens. Hopefully their offensive line is good. I've been preaching for that for years, for over a decade now. But we'll see what the hell happens.
What do you think of Frankie Montas?
Who's Frankie Montas?
So he was a Mets pitcher who stunk, and we cut him, and then the Yankees picked him up.
I haven't been watching. I have been watching the telly lately. I've been disappointed with the Yankees lately. So if he's doing great for the Yankees, something must be up. And I'm sorry it stunk for you guys, but it is what it is. I just know that we don't feel like the Yankees. They may have the name, but they don't feel like it. I know what y'all are saying, F the Yankees and all that. I'm not saying you personally, but I know a lot of people saying F the Yankees. They always win all the damn time. While we haven't won shit in over going on for nearly 2 decades now. And I know we went to the World Series last year, but we got schooled by a legitimate manager and a team, probably the best team in baseball, and they're not even in first place either right now, which is interesting for me too. So it is what it is, man. Enjoying life day by day. Still got to watch season 2 of Peacemaker, season 2, episode 1 of Peacemaker. Heard that was really good. Doesn't surprise me. I love James Gunn. Everything he has touched for me has been gold for me. I know some people have been disappointed with him at times, but I'm not trying to sound like a delusional or blind individual, but he has done wonders for me. So can't wait I'm gonna try to watch it either some point tonight or tomorrow. hopefully Will McDonald does feast up Rich. Reading the comment here on the chat. Hopefully he does, man. He bulked up for a reason. He didn't bulk up for nothing. He's a good player. I like him. But I like to see Jermaine Johnson kick ass too. I know he got off the PUP list, which is wonderful, 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 wonderful. And
Well said.
I like
Well said.
Jermaine Johnson a lot.
Jermaine's one of my favorites to watch this year. Like, I'm going to be glued to 11 just because we've been starved for it for over a year now.
Yeah, what happened to him last year was really sad. I did not expect him to go down, but hey, I love his work ethic. His character is awesome. You know, he doesn't take plays off. He always gives you 100+ effort on every play. So he's a good football player. You know, he was a good player at Florida State for 1 or 2 years. Obviously, he started off with Georgia. Didn't get a whole lot of playing time because of a bunch of studs on that team. He goes to Florida State and he proves his worth. Let's see what he does, man. Let's see what he does this year. I know he got engaged to a model named Havana something.
Yeah, they've been together for a while. Hannah, yeah.
She's a gorgeous woman. She's a gorgeous woman.
I think,
and he's a handsome man.
Yeah, he bought her a car like while he was injured. He got her a car. Then they got engaged. I think they might even have a baby on the way, but don't quote me on that. But yeah,
good.
he's growing up, man, and he's one that I would like to invest in long term, assuming assuming he's not Carl Lawson this year.
I don't think he'll be. I mean, Carl Lawson had that one decent year for us in 2022. We had about 7 sacks, and then last following year he didn't do shit. So we'll see what the hell happens, man. I mean, I don't think he'll be Carl Lawson. We'll see what happens, man. Anyways, I don't want to take too much of your time. It was good talking with you, buddy.
Always
have a good
pleasure,
day, all right?
Yep. Thanks for joining. Have a good one. Can always count on Charles. I love it. Always good takes out of him. Even got a little James Gunn in there, which got me thinking, man. After Mets call in on Friday and the gun talk he had, I better start watching my copyright or my infringing. Too much gun talk. Of course, Charles was talking about a different kind of gun, though. But yeah, he likes his comic movies. I like his comic movie reviews. Kind of live vicariously through him and his enjoyment. It's a good follow. So if you get time, at Charles Gorman 5188 on YouTube, check that out. Especially if you like Jets and Marvel all wrapped together, that's the spot. So definitely subscribe to him, support his content. Scott says, calm that freaky down, Charles. Rich, have a good one today, Charles. Yeah, go seize that day, Charles, and maybe get a antenna booster or something for that telly. I don't know. Whatever that problem is, I wish I was there. I'd try to help you with it. All right. Brian Glick chiming in a couple last minute comments before I hit the deck. When Brian Glick, good to have you, brother. I see you pop in from time to time, and I appreciate your support. When they go 6 O linemen for a heavy run package, who do you think are the 6 and at what spots? Well, that's a good question because, 6 O linemen, not just 6 blockers. You got to hope it's Okorafor is that 6th spot. I'm not high on Max Mitchell, Xavier Newman. Like we spoke of that earlier. Like all our other backup. Okay, maybe. Well, no, you can't put Myers in there, even if he is one of the 6 best. I would probably lean Okorafor unless he's just absolutely cheeks. But honestly, I'm looking more like I assume you're talking more like goal line and stuff. I'm hoping the tight ends are mainly used. Put Mason Taylor, who has been praised by Glenn for being more of a willing blocker than he expected him to be coming in. Maybe he can blossom there and be, tight on the line. Maybe we can get Beck out there somewhere. You got to get Lazard in the mix, Reynolds in the mix. Pick your poison. But like those are the key guys when it comes to playing tight and blocking. That's who I would look at. I'm not having Tyler Johnson out there. I'm not putting Ruckert out there. I mean, we will, if he's on the roster, he'll be out there, and I won't be happy because the production. Hey, maybe he'll surprise me. Oh, got another. So the Danger Zone portal is active today. It just sucked in another entrant. Beard, goatee, glorious goatee and all. Without further ado, let's bring him out. What's up, my brother? I can't hear you.
How about now?
There you go.
I just called in so you could hear the boomers outside. Hopefully they're not through. I got pretty good storm rolling through right now.
Not people born in the 50s. You're talking okay.
No.
not our favorite guy up in Canada either.
Boomtown, I know. Don't see much of him anymore.
Nah. Hey, he was one of
I was gonna say that's my fault.
No, why is that?
Because I'm just not touring the jet stuff as much.
I thought you meant he's not here because of you. Oh, okay. That's why you don't see him. All right, I got you. Yeah. I was like, man, give me the tea. I don't know anything about this. No, Boomtown, I will say, man, when he does make it, he is on point. He's also, I think, one of the very first subscribers on the channel, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah. Oh, he's always on point, no doubt.
A split second extra time to scan the chat now, dude. It's been a while since I've been alone on screen. Modine, Scott the Great, hell yeah. Oh, we cut some more people. Bill M with the news drop. I like it, brother. Yamin Jammin Davis. Yeah, right off the bat. Damn. Adrian Martinez. Hey, I had that one. Fletcher. Okay. Fornadell. Okay. Kuntz. Yes.
That had to happen.
It's overdue. McAllister. Toafili. Davis is a little surprising. He has. Yeah, that is because before preseason kicked off, there was a lot of people who had him at LB3.
You know what that means? My boy's making the team. They must have listened to you guys the other night. Although Murph wanted to cut him, he just wouldn't do it in front of me. So probably if I hadn't been there, he'd have cut his ass.
Dude, you got to keep Jackson Sermon now.
Yeah.
Let me look though. I got a list of our linebackers. Not Jermaine, of course. Zaire Barnes. Davis is gone. Malagoa. So Barnes, Malagoa, Sherwood, Quincy, McCrary, Ball, Jackson Sermon. There's others, but you're not going to keep them like Weston and Boog Smith.
Well, you know what though? Who knows? I mean, everyone was counting Jammin Davis to be a stud.
True.
Which, I couldn't figure that one out beyond he was a high draft choice, but who drafted him? The Redskins or Washington? Here we go.
Dude, when you're in the danger zone, thunder like that is necessary.
I thought since I'm here on a Sunday, God was trying to get me. If a lightning bolt comes shooting through.
Yeah, no, talk about getting taken down for gun talk. I think I don't know though. It might go viral. You get shot with a Thor.
Well,
Um,
you would become a superstar if that happened. So
yeah, probably for an insane reaction. So okay, all right. Uh, let's put them in order. Sherwood, Quincy, whatever. 2, right? McCrary Ball, is he 3? I didn't like what I saw out of him.
here's the thing. We've watched Jackson Sermon go off for 2 preseasons. He was great last preseason, but because his measurables maybe aren't as good. In fact, we know they're not as good as the other guys. But what it is his brain. But he gets downgraded because of that. But maybe this staff isn't going to do it. Isn't going to work that way. So we'll see.
Maybe brains are more when it comes to Mike linebacker, and Sherwood. I mean, again, McCrary Ball. We've seen a million guys this preseason. Just so everyone knows, McCrary Ball was 41, and I just didn't like what I saw out of him. But you got to figure. I mean, he was projected to be 3-4 with Davis. Are they really going to cut both? I don't know. But let's say Ball makes it. Okay, then you got Barnes. You've got Malagoa, who they drafted. Sermon. We'll just say those 3. If you're keeping one, he's got a shot. Sermon.
Yeah. I mean, with the Davis cut, which apparently nobody saw coming, that gives him a way better shot.
See, that's why all these damn predictions, projections, the whole last 2 months, man, just throw them out the window. Like, none of us are behind the scenes. I will say, though, good.
I was going to say, none of us are at the practice. None of us are in the meeting rooms. Some of the stuff that's come out about Corley lately, it's like, whoa, holy shit. No wonder, everyone was quick to blame the staff last year. But maybe the guy's just a damn idiot. You're muted, Dane.
That's kind of where my head's going. I mean, it only took our heads this long to catch up to that and really believe it. Once more evidence of just him never getting a chance kind of made it obvious. A lot of people thought that immediately and stuck with it, but I'm more of a mind to like wait and see approach until I know. And yeah, it's just insane to not even do a package with him when your scrub bums are playing quarters at a time and he's just not getting touches. So
Yeah,
crazy.
of course, I'll pat myself on the back and I'll say I was saying it last year. There's something. The coaches aren't just trying to screw him. There's something going on that we don't see and we don't know about, because there's no reason to be excited. They were excited, literally excited about drafting him. They traded up to do it.
No matter what.
And then they're just going to put him aside. No way. And people would say, well, they took time for GW and so. Well, maybe a couple. It took a little time, but they didn't hide those guys the whole season. So
no.
Anyway, but I'm raised in a coach's household, so I tend to side with the coaches.
Well, and they have all the info.
Yeah, and they see what's going on a daily basis, all the stuff that we don't see. We see highlights, and then we get, this thought in our mind of, how great a player is. Mm-hmm. And when we don't even get to see him be, we saw him do one bad thing. But there's no way a coaching staff is going to bury a guy because of one play.
I am with you. Especially when it wasn't even like really, it could have been worse, like.
Yeah, I mean, he just accidentally dropped the ball. I think his reaction to it when he was asked about it later was worse than the play itself.
Yeah,
So
I am with you.
We will be done talking about Corley here in the next couple of days.
Maybe hours for all we know. But
True.
Jamin Davis, though, just to reiterate, if you're joining us late, Jamin Davis cut from the Jets. The only linebacker we had that was above 6'2". Jamin Davis is 6'4". I didn't realize that. That's pretty big.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. 6'4", 234. Big dude. Now it's going to be someone more 6'1", 6'2". Barnes, see, that's another one, like a holdover from past regime. How do they see that? 3 years of experience, so another young guy. He's 25. Sermon, 25, 1 year experience. But those are bigger bodies, just not tall.
One thing about Sermon, he can be the, what is it, red dot or green dot, or they call the
Mike and the Will.
Yeah, he can call the defense.
You said brain, man, and I went immediately to like, okay, I don't think we want Quincy wearing the mic. I really don't. So if Sherwood goes down, who is the next guy wearing that dot? And I don't know, but Sermon sounds suited for the role if he's a heady guy.
And that could be why he makes the team right there.
That's exactly what we thought Friday when we kept him, Scott.
You guys were smart. You were just worried about the wrath. No, you did. You did speak him up. Murph was like, no, I'm not doing that in front of Scott.
Nope. No. Well, and Murph, to in his defense, I don't think he saw all of the preseason action when he was balling out.
Neither did I, because after the starters were mostly out, I was doing something else. So yeah, I was actually happy to hear you saying that, because the one time I did see him in the game, I didn't see him do anything. He didn't do any bad plays, but everything was kind of away from him.
It's hard to do these numbers. I just can't wait till we're down to 53 and guys change their numbers, because like looks like Tony Richardson out there, and I'm like, who is that? And okay, it's a linebacker. It's Jackson Sermon wearing 49. Like, wild.
Right. Yeah, the numbers thing, and then they changed. Like the Giants game, I saw Arian Smith dropped two balls, and he's wearing 82. Guess who I was thinking it was?
Let me guess.
Why is that guy on the team? Can't catch a punt, can't catch a pass. Oh shit, that's not even him. I don't even know what number he is now.
Gibson is 3.
Okay, yeah. But,
which I've barely seen at all this preseason, and I'm okay with.
Exactly.
That's another, like, once I see the cuts, I want to then like go backwards in time and wonder, like, okay, that's why that guy never played, or that's why that guy did play. The thought process behind, Corley not getting snaps, Gibson not getting snaps, other guys getting a ton of snaps. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe their mind was made up.
I feel vindicated, though, because I was a Cook guy, and Cook's still on the team, and Martinez isn't.
Oh, did Martinez get cut? Was he on that list? Oh, I didn't even catch that. Okay. I would have gone the other way around, but you and Murph called that one.
No, Murph was against it. I think Murph was against both. Or no, you're right. Was he?
No, Murph was Cook over Martinez, but I think he was for keeping 2 quarterbacks and putting one on the practice squad.
You're right. But most people, at least in the chat, most people around had Martinez as the better of the two. Hey, that doesn't mean Cook isn't going to get cut in 10 minutes. I'm just saying,
right.
We'll see.
Well, and who knows what quarterback is going to become available any minute now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's the other thing. And who knows what Tyrod's health is really like? Could he have played Friday but didn't, or is it going to bleed into the season? This will all affect if you need a QB2 besides him. Because I don't think Cook's going to be a QB2. Can he make it as a QB3? Maybe.
Well, obviously the plan is not for him to be QB2. Now, if Tyrod can't get back, then they're going to have to do something.
Yeah. Then you might see like a Jameis Winston or
hey, I would, you know what? I'd maybe choose Jameis over Tyrod anyway. Not because I even think he's better, but the guy does stay healthy. And worst case scenario, if Fields is a total shit show, Jameis could play quarterback next year when they hopefully draft the quarterback. So
he wouldn't have to go far either.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Brian, he chimes in and he said, if Tyrod isn't healthy, does that mean we have to keep Cook? I don't think it matters. I think Cook is destined for the practice squad. Whether we cut him in 10 minutes or we keep him on the 53, I don't think he's going to be active on game days.
Right. Or he's emergency quarterback, right?
Right. So, and that's all barring like, hey, who knows what shakes free? Who really knows? But I'm leaning practice squad with him. We'll see how long it takes to cut him, but yeah.
Something will shake free. I mean, wouldn't you take any of those Cleveland quarterbacks over Cook? Any one of them?
Yes, any one of them.
They're not going to keep 6 quarterbacks.
Correct. Let me segue to another guy on the list we know and love, Zach Kuntz cut. Thoughts on that, Scott?
It was going to happen, right? It had to happen.
Yeah. Over it. I've been over it, dude.
Johnny is heartbroken.
Yeah. Has anyone checked on him? Shit. Winding down, folks. Last minute questions we will take, but got about 5 minutes, I think. Yeah, Kuntz had to go, and I like that he's cut early. I don't think he needs another. Dude, an entire year last year on the practice squad was a waste. Yeah, he can go to San Fran or wherever, or the Home Depot.
We kept him over a kicker that could have won a few more games for us.
Say what you want about Seibert or Siebert, about down the stretch. The games we needed him to kick well, the first 10 or so, he was money.
Well, he got hurt. He was like the best kicker in the league for much of the season. I wonder where he is now.
I do too, because I haven't heard a peep. He might. Yeah, I don't know. He might still be there, but just on IR or something.
He could be. And back to something I was reading in the chat earlier. People hoping Darnell Washington will get cut. I don't think he's getting cut.
Everybody's projecting some name, like who was it? Roman Wilson, expecting to cut him. Like, dude, like you said about Green Bay, like they're banged up, so you might see all them guys stay because of IR and all that, like just roster gymnastics.
Yeah, they just have too many injuries.
Yeah,
and they moved one of their receivers to DB. So they may have to move him back.
They might. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There was something I was going to say, and it just slipped right out of my head. Oh, how many guys did we cut? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cuts. We were at 81 before this show. 7 cuts. We have 74 now, so 21 more cuts.
Now, what if guys are? Is there anybody that could go besides Tyrod, Lazard on the injured list?
That's correct. Right? That's like free slots.
Yeah.
See, it's troubling because you don't get an injury report unless it's like game day or it's Glenn and a presser. Chat, did anyone see the post-game presser Friday night or any injury notes surface after the Eagles game? Because even the simplest injury could be made into an IR.
Well, Chris says Isaiah Davis.
Yeah,
possibly.
It's possible.
What's his injury?
I don't know what exactly, but it's been like 2 weeks now already. I can tell you. Hold on. A minor ankle injury. He hurt it during the Packer game.
Okay.
So,
well, I could 2 weeks for minor, but it's preseason, so why challenge it?
The odds of you turning that into an IR is probably slim. But we'll see. We'll see. I do look forward to seeing how creative Muji is with stuff like that. Because it's an evaluation year for him.
Lazard makes sense if they're not planning on him being part of the team, but they also don't want to make him available. But if Tyrod is, then boy, they got to do something at the quarterback spot.
Brian says only 2 pre-cut down short-term IR spots can be used. So we still got to cut 20. We got to cut 21, maybe 19. That's still a lot of guys. He also chimed in and said that Leander Weigand, he was bummed about not seeing in preseason. Yeah, that's the guy from overseas. And we kind of do need a guard, man. I'd like to know the thought process behind it. We'll see. Will Colaval stick on the roster just because they don't like Newman? Is Newman more like tackle? I don't know how they envision those guys. It's a brand new offensive line coach who might see things differently than the clown we had last year. So, yeah. Dude, I think he did somewhere, but it was like a worse job, if that makes sense. Like he doesn't have an O-line now. It's like he's in charge of like the 3rd string center or something.
Maybe in New England, hopefully. And when they might be holding guys that they don't have any intention of keeping right now, still trying to work a trade for a 6th or a 7th or something like we saw with Nandi.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw Jeremy Fowler tweet. Yeah, I think you did. We might be sellers on our tackle depth. Thoughts on that?
What depth?
Yeah. Fowler says our tackle depth will garner some interest. I'm like, to who? The Alouettes?
Well, the hope is, because coaches have egos also. There's someone who, like whoever coming out of college, that thinks I can turn this guy into a player where they couldn't. I mean, We're kind of seeing that with
Yeah.
Fields, right?
Although I don't know that it would garner like a pick swap, but maybe what if they gave you like a fringe player from that team? You know, it's like Carter Warren for, you know, a guy you're gonna cut to, you know, that could be more interesting, I think.
Yeah. That might be someone that Muji liked from scouting 3 years ago, or who knows, anything like that. Why not get something? If you can get something you like, they'd all prefer draft picks, I'm sure. Shoot, I remember several years ago, the 49ers and the Chiefs traded first round draft choice receivers because they were both kind of busts. I can't remember the guy's name for sure, but it was like, I think Sylvester was a Kansas City guy. Anyway, and they still turned out to be busts. They never worked out for their team, but they went ahead and did it. It's like, let's try, you know, it's a first rounder.
Right. It's, and that most first rounders do get a second chance just based on pedigree, you know.
Well, Jamin Davis, right?
Yep.
Perfect example. And I don't know if he was bad before, but
what about Javon Kinlaw?
Oh my God. I'm just shocked the contract he got.
We kicked the tires on him though, former first rounder, high pedigree, and then now you got Washington doing the same thing for a second contract. Will he ever like really blossom? I don't know. At least he proved he could stay healthy.
He did stay healthy, unfortunately. That was, you know, how many ex-49ers did Saleh bring in?
Rich says that Scott's beard looks expensive, and then he follows it up with oils and stuff. Thoughts?
I occasionally put a little something in there. I need to put some coloring in this damn thing. You know, look like freaking Santa Claus.
You better not.
No, but I will. I'm going to come on in the danger zone one day and just have like puka shells or beads or something.
That I'd like, yeah. And one day I'm gonna have like just one big braid, so it'll stop hitting the mic.
There you go. But you have to have approval of whatever you do. I
True.
don't.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out Tracy Crum. Welcome to the channel. I see that you are our newest subscriber. Welcome. Stick around. It's going to be a more fun season than we had last year. I can promise that. Because dude, last year was rough for me, man. Like,
well, you know why? It's because our expectations were so high, and they're not this year. I mean, by any normal thinking person, they couldn't possibly be that high, but there are some of those out there.
There are. I just wonder, will they move the goalpost after 2 games?
If it starts bad, you know damn well it'll be same old.
I think it will compete though in damn near every game. Hopefully. No, nobody knows.
No, we don't know, but I do think the defense will be better and will keep us, you know, keep the games close. And they were pretty good at times last year. They just were at their worst when the game was on the line. So go figure why. I expect the offensive line to be significantly better. So right there, special teams should be better.
A lot better, I think. Because even Morstead wasn't phenomenal last year. He was okay, but did a lot of what bothers me about punting is when you're at midfield, maybe even just a hair outside of field goal range, and you have to punt, and the punter kicks it and it lands halfway in the end zone, like halfway through the ends. Like that's horrible. I would much rather you pooch it and land it at the 17 than to just not even give a chance. And Morstead, I saw did a few of those last year. This kid though is great at accuracy. Like his ability to stick it inside the 10 and have the gunners have a chance. Like if we get Irvin Charles back and we have Wang Wu as gunners or something, they're going to get down there. They're going to down a lot of punts. So I like his ball placement is what I'm trying to say.
When I was coming up, there was a thing called the coffin corner. I don't think anyone does that anymore.
I don't understand why not.
There were guys who are great at it. It's a lost art.
That one makes zero sense to me. I have no idea why. Use the sideline to your advantage. If you can kick it straight, all you got to do is turn your body, aim at the 5-yard line or the 10-yard line, and just kick it there. It's like collusion or something. How do you just let that skill fade away?
Well, and even if you don't quite get it out and the guy's catching it a couple yards from the sideline, well, the sideline's a defensive player, really. You got that much less field you have to cover. So I don't know. That's just something that the great punters used to do back in the day, and they don't even bother now.
No. Well, Brian chimes in. Weston and Stiggers as gunners for preseason. Yeah. Do we ever get Irv back from pup? It's a good question, man. Let's see what the designation was again. This doesn't say, but I think we do get him back. I don't think that Weston stays a gunner. I mean, call me crazy, but I don't want my gunner to be a linebacker. I just don't. I assume you're talking Jamarcus Weston, 6'2", 235.
Unless he runs like Thomas Hollywood Henderson.
Speed kills.
That's right. Well, we got a really fast guy, but I don't know if he'd survive being a gunner.
I know what you're thinking. Yep. All right, Scott. I think we'll leave it.
He might beat the ball to the receiver most
Fine by me. Hey, yeah. Let's go enjoy your Sunday, man. Hopefully you don't get power outage or something.
There's lightning here most days at some point, and I've never lost.
You can
power,
probably reach the clouds from where you're at.
Pretty close at times. Pretty close.
All right. Hey, have it.
All right, man. I'll be waiting for that BlackBerry Pie to show up in the mail.
You won't wait long, sir.
Get to work, hey.
for the ride.
You're in the danger zone.
Holy mackerel.